Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name's Zoe. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I really do hope that you decide to subscribe and also turn on your bell so you're notified every single time that I post. And if you're not already, make sure you're following me over on Instagram. I am trying to reach 1,000 followers on Instagram, so if we could do that, that would be amazing. It'll be on the screen now and it's also linked down below as well. So if you're new to my channel, which you might be by clicking on this video, I normally do true crime videos, and I have done a couple more family type videos or more videos about myself, story times, things like that before, and I do want to incorporate more of that onto my channel. So if that's something you're interested in, please turn the bell on so you never miss an upload. So this video is a little bit different to what I would usually post, but like I said, I want to incorporate more different stuff onto my channel, and especially with CRIMEMAS coming up on the 20th of this month. If you don't know what CRIMEMAS is, I'll leave the trailer link down below. I have not been able to research or film a true crime video because I've been so busy doing that. So I decided to do a different kind of video because I still wanted to post for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about how I found out that I was going to be a teen mum, and how I told other people in my life, like my mum, my friends, my family, and how I took the news in general. So back when I was 18 and I was with my ex-boyfriend, I had just moved out of my family home. I'd moved into a flat with him. I soon after found out that I was pregnant. So around this time I was kind of out of control, if I'm going to be completely honest. Every weekend I was drinking, Friday till Monday. I was going hard with the drinking. I was drinking with my friends in my flat because I had a new flat, so we used to all hang around in there. I was just doing what teenagers did really at 18 years old. I just turned 18, so I was finally legal, I was allowed to drink, so that's what I was spending my weekends doing. On this particular weekend I had been drinking, and that was pretty normal for me, and it was pretty normal for me to spend the full week feeling really crappy. Because I had drank so much, my hangovers would last quite a while compared to what they would now, because I just don't drink like that anymore. So all week I was literally feeling crappy for literally a full week, and I just put it down to being completely hungover. Then the next weekend comes and I did not touch a drop of alcohol. I felt absolutely horrible. It was almost like I had the flu, and I was just so sure that I was really poorly. I couldn't get out of bed, I was being sick, I was just overall feeling really horrible. And then when we get into the second week and I'm still feeling the same, I think to myself, I best take a pregnancy test. And I don't know what exactly made me do that, because at the time my periods were irregular, I was used to that, but I knew that I was not on contraception. I wasn't even trying to prevent anything. The whole time that I was with my ex-boyfriend, I think I spent a total of 6 months on contraception out of the whole time. I'm not condoning that at all. Really, you should be on contraception if you're not trying for a baby. If you don't want to, then that's fine, that's your choice, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So yeah, I don't know exactly what made me take that pregnancy test, but I went to the shop and I bought a pregnancy test. I weed on the pregnancy test, obviously. And within seconds, and I'm not even trying to exaggerate, a line came up. A second line, there were 2 lines on the test. And I remember I screamed, like crying, screaming. And my boyfriend was in the other room, and well, my ex-boyfriend was in the other room, and he was like, came in and he was like, what's up? And I hadn't told him that I was actually going to do the pregnancy test, and I was like, look, it's positive, I'm pregnant. And then I had a moment of, no, this can't be true, so I started dipping all the other tests, because it was like a cheap pack of like 3 tests. So I dipped the other ones, and the same was happening on them. Within seconds it was coming up saying pregnant. So my mind in that moment, I cannot explain how I felt. I was 18 years old, I had no job, I was on benefits, I had just moved in with my boyfriend. I've been together with him about 2 years at this point, But this was something we never discussed. This wasn't planned. This wasn't something that we saw for ourselves. So the minute that I found out I was pregnant, I literally broke down and I was crying. And I was like, this can't be happening. Like, why me? I was so scared. I can't explain the feeling that I felt in that moment. I felt so scared for my life. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how everybody else was going to feel. I didn't know how my mum was going to feel. That was a big scary factor as well, because my mum was so dead set against me having a child until I was financially stable and had stood up on my own 2 feet for long enough. She was dead set against it. So I was just generally really scared. So at this point in time, me and my boyfriend had a couple of friends. I remember I told one friend straight away because he happened to be living with us at the time. He was just kind of sofa surfing and staying with us. And I told him and he was like, what are you going to do? That was literally what he said to me. He said, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. I really don't know. So after finding out, on that very day, I had to go and sit at a family meal for my mum's birthday. On that same day, I had to sit there. But bearing in mind, I felt horrible anyway. And now, obviously looking back, that was morning sickness. So I had to sit at this family meal where I could not stomach food and act totally normal, where everybody's going to be drinking around me. People know that I'm going to be drinking, and I just had to act normal. And it was one of the most nerve-wracking things of my life. I remember setting off to go and get the bus to go and meet my family, and the only person we talked to at the time and kind of trust was my boyfriend's auntie. So we called her and we told her. We was like, look, Zoe's just found that she's pregnant. What do we do? We are panicking, we are scared, because to be fair, he was just as scared as me. He was, I think he's a year older than me, like 12 months older than me, so he's about 19 at the time. He's still young himself, wasn't working himself. It was just a really scary situation. And she said, look, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to tell anybody anything yet. You can sit and think about your decision, because if you sit and think about your decision and know what you're going to do, at least when you tell your parents, you've got an outcome for them. So you can turn around to your parents and say, look, I'm going to be keeping this baby. Or you can turn around to your parents and be like, look, I've decided it's not for us, we're not going to go through with it, but will you support us whilst we're going through this? So that was her advice to us. So we said, right, okay, we're not going to tell anyone yet. We're not going to talk about it yet. And it was really scary because I had to go to this meal. So fast forward a couple of hours and I'm at the family meal. And the first thing is, who's drinking what? So I was like, oh, I'll have a Copperberg, which I never touched. I never drank a Copperberg. I just got it, so then it'd look like I'm drinking it. So this is where things are literally gonna go tits up, because I had really bad nerves and I was struggling with anxiety, and I still do today. So I'm sat at this meal and I can feel it building up against me and building up against me, and I literally stood up in front of everybody, and this was no exaggeration, because my sister took the mick out of me. I was snapping at my sister for something and she said, I bet she's up the duff. And I just stood up and burst out into tears. Obviously she was joking, she did not mean it. And I burst out into tears in front of absolutely everybody. And I just went, Mum, it's true. What she's saying is true. And I broke down. And my mum walked out the room. My mum walked out of the meal and went outside and sparked up a smoke and was like, what is going on? And I went outside to go and speak to my mum and go and try and talk to her about it. And she literally was like, we are not talking about this until we get home. Which was like the worst reaction you can have from your parents. And I knew I was not going to see my mum for a couple of days. So I was like, no way, I can't sit and not talk to my mum. So I'm crying, I'm upset, and my cousin offers me and my boyfriend a lift home because she like lives a little bit further than us and just worked out easier like that. And she was talking to me in the car and she was like, it's not that bad, things are going to work out okay, you just need to talk to your mum. And I knew from that minute that my mum was not happy with me at all. And I just want to say before getting into the next bit, if you're a teen parent, if you're a teen mum, your parents are more than likely going to be disappointed. It does not mean that they're not going to support you. It does not mean that they don't care about you or they don't love you. They are disappointed because they do love you. They expect so much from you. Looking at my son's life now, I expect him to go to school and get good grades and get a good job, look after himself and then have a family. But if he came home at 16, 17, 18 and he wasn't financially stable and he didn't have a proper home and girlfriend and all that stuff, and he told me he got somebody pregnant, I would be disappointed. I would support him, 100% support him and love him and be behind him, but I would be disappointed. So I'm just saying that to all you out there who may be watching this video because you've just found out you're pregnant, you don't know how to tell your parents. Just sit them down in a room and be honest with them. Have your boyfriend there for support and just say, look, this has happened, I don't know what to do, please help me, talk to me about what I can do. If they're disappointed at first, don't be surprised because it is a big shock, but they still love you and they will support you where they can. So when I was on my way home in the car, my mum actually called my phone and she was like, look, I'm not happy that it's happening right now, I'm not happy that this is all happening, but she said, we're going to do this, I'm going to support you and we're going to get there. She was like, you need to book a doctor's appointment, you need to do this and you need to do that, and she was putting things in place for me which made me feel so much better because she was more accepting. She was shocked and disappointed, yes, but it just takes time to get over that shock. And if you're in the same situation, I'm pretty sure that once your parents are over the shock, they will feel so much better about it. So that was how I told my mum. I did not tell my mum in the best way at all. I said it probably in the worst way possible. The best way and the more ideal way is probably to sit them down and just tell them what's going on. And that's my advice to you. So when I found out I was pregnant and in the weeks afterwards, I didn't tell my dad. I have hardly spoken to my dad, so to this day doesn't know about that pregnancy. He only knows about Dominic and Dominic's pregnancy, but that is another story in itself. So I did not want to tell my other family members because I was so scared. And obviously a few people had found out from being at the meal, so my mum went on to tell my nan and my other family members, and they was not shocked like my mum was. They were really supportive, they stuck up for me, they looked out for me and congratulated me, which was really, really nice. My ex-boyfriend told his mum and she was, as far as you could say, supportive about it all. Afterwards, she wasn't. She turned out to be really nasty and vindictive about it all, but that again is another story in itself. If you want me to tell that story time, I will. Just let me know below. During this next few weeks, I decided to post it on Facebook, to tell my friends and post it on all my social media, and for the most part everybody took it really, really well. Nobody was nasty, nobody was really horrible about the situation and about the fact that I was young and clearly not in a stable place. Nobody really said anything about that. Everybody was just congratulating me and wishing me the best of luck and things like that. But unfortunately, when I was around 14.5 weeks pregnant, I found out I lost this baby, and that is something what has affected me for my whole life. I was just getting my head around being pregnant and going through all the stresses that a teen mum does when she finds out she's pregnant, and it was just taken away from me very quickly, which was quite horrible. I do have a video on my channel that talks about my miscarriage story. If you do want to see that, it will be linked down below. It is bad quality. It's like one of the first videos that I posted on my channel. It's overall a bad video, so I am tempted to refilm it. If you want me to refilm it and repost, I will. Again, just let me know down below, but I'll leave the old one linked down below so you can go and find it and go and watch it if you really want to. So that is all for this video. That is how I found out I was going to be a teen mom and how I told my family and my friends. If you do want to see more content like this, please let me know down below. If you're a young person and you're struggling and you've just found out you're pregnant and you're going through something right now, please message me on Instagram. I'm so happy to chat to you and give you my advice where I can. It's linked down below. Go and check the Instagram out. Please be ready for CRIMEMAS, and I think I've said everything I need to say, so I will see you in my next video. Bye.